Completa e injustamente ignorada por la academia, la película de FABELMANS para mí fue una de las mejores que nos dejó el 2022 y pude hablar con su camarógrafo, con Mitch Dubin, con quien ya habíamos conversado, por ejemplo, de Rescatando al Soldado Ryan, se las dejo aquí arriba, pero en esta oportunidad nos pusimos a hablar de una de las películas más lindas que nos dejó la carrera de Steven Spielberg. En este caso hablamos de cómo fue hacer algunas de las secuencias más icónicas y también cómo fue ese set tan pero tan emotivo, tanto para el director como para los actores que parece que no podían creer el contexto en el que estaban rodando. Todo esto en este informe de FABELMANS, que aparte viene con una perlita espectacular, porque me regaló un video de detrás de escena que para mí es inolvidable. Mirá. We now return to Mira Akien and Contré with our latest interview.
That's me on a Super 8 camera. That's
amazing.
Back going in. Back going closer.
Get closer, Mitch.
Oh!
that shot was you saw when he's editing the camping film, and he realizes that his mother was having an affair with Seth Rogen's character, and that shot was what was on his editing machine.
In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists. Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
It was a difficult film for everyone that was on set, because it was so personal to Steven, and yes, he got very emotional all the time, and Steven likes to watch. Oftentimes he'll watch the shot over my shoulder, but I mean, there were many times when I'm concentrating operating the shot, and I over my shoulder I just hear Steven crying. It was intense, and for that reason, the set was a very different place. It wasn't. It was very respectful, very quiet. It's in a similar way what Lincoln was like filming that movie, but I normally, you have a relationship with the actors, and there's a camaraderie and lightheartedness and joking around. But on the Fabelmans, it was very intense and very, quiet, because it was, emotionally volatile stuff.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
I had seen the war film. I had seen some of his kids, the things he did as a child. I never saw any camping film, but I did see the war things, and I saw something else he had done. Maybe it was the Western. I can't remember, but yeah.
But you see,
I saw them not before we shot the failed ones. I saw them years ago. He was just showing me. We of course have bigger and better equipment than he did, but Steven had, he's got the DNA in him that he knew how to make movies when he was in high school. I mean, good movies. And it was very clever how he did, the bullet hits in the mine going off, and the balloons with blood. I mean, that's all cinematic stuff.
Yeah.
And he figured it out at a very young age.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
That wasn't a visual effect shot. It was literally just the projector. Maybe they had put a stronger bulb in there.
Oh,
I don't know, but or maybe even a weaker bulb to handle the contrast, because it was a dark closet. But yeah, I mean, he just held up his hands. I mean, it was tricky because it was a really small space that we had to, get the actors and the camera in. It literally was a closet.
No art. See that painting over there?
I guess my understanding is that it was not easy to get David Lynch to agree to do that part, and Steven had to do a lot of talking and convincing and assuring. Because I mean, David Lynch I don't know how much acting he's done, but I know he certainly doesn't consider himself an actor. So I think he was, nervous. So the day we filmed that scene with David, it was like Lincoln. The way we did that was like they cleared everybody off the set. They brought him in this sort of secret path that he wouldn't encounter anyone, and he just came right into the set and he was in character.
No, where's the horizon?
The horizon?
Where is it?
It was fairly straightforward, other than, again, adding to the intensity of the movie, because now David is bringing his own, insecurities. There was not, any jovial dialogue or joking around with David Lynch. He was John Ford. He played John Ford. We filmed it, and there wasn't much discussion. The idea of that shot was completely, it kept changing, and like it does with all of Steven's movies, he starts with one idea, and the idea was really simple, that he comes out of the the office, and he was going to go whatever. It was just an exit from the office, and we were shooting someplace else that day, and we were told it was going to be a really simple shot. All we needed literally was a tripod and a head. And so it was at the end of the day, we ran over with the minimal amount of gear. Then all of a sudden the shot changes and it becomes much more difficult. I mean, Steven doesn't care about what the technical difficulty is of a shot or how we're going to execute it. He just, he had an idea that was different than what we had planned for, and which I have always known never to trust the producers when it comes to being prepared for a shot with Steven, that you have to have everything available. So it was a little bit of a mad scramble to get the necessary equipment, because we needed a jib arm, because we start over that railing, we end on his hand on the railing, and then he comes out and walks down. So we needed a remote head, we needed a jib arm, and all that stuff was at the other location. So literally we were like biting our nails, hoping that the equipment gets here in time. And it did, by the nick of time. And so we did the shot, and the thing at the end, for the life of me, I don't think it was scripted. I don't remember it being scripted. And I think I remember we did maybe a couple takes just normally, and then one take Steven says, "Okay, now tilt up," And so I think it was. I mean, that's why Steven works a lot. Is every shot develops and changes. It's an organic process, and yes, I think that was totally improvised.
You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart. I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to.
Everything in that movie, in terms of the process of making it, was amplified emotionally, just because of the nature of it. And so obviously that whole scene of her dancing, I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, it was really beautiful, but the subtext of it is not something that you understand until later on. The thing about you asking about the actors, it was really intense for them, because the set was pretty emotionally charged, and there wasn't a lot of communication with the actors that you would normally have, because you sort of gave them their space to do their work. And at the end of the movie, the last day of shooting, we were on stage, and there wasn't a big wrap party, but they brought in some food trucks, and we were shooting in COVID times. So anyway, I went up to Michelle Williams to just thank her, say it was a pleasure working with you. She's a great actress, and really lovely person. And she took my hand and she looked at me right in the eyes and she said, Mitch, was that movie as weird for you as it was for me?
What was your favorite part?